Hello, good morning. Today we'll be drawing a great sketch. Good morning, good morning. If you have come, please drop a like and thanks for coming. I always start with eyes because that's where you can see where you will land every other part. So basically, eye is very important. If eye comes out nicely, then everything will work out eventually. I'm drawing with pen, so I have to be very careful, and I generally draw freehand. Hello, hello. So here I will be drawing an Asian face from the reference. So it will be mono eyelid. When drawing eyelids, you have to be careful and always draw 3/4 of the eyelid. More than 3/4 will make your eyes look unnatural. So try to do it between 3/4 and 2/4. In this way, you can see the normal edgy look, like relaxed face, relaxed eye look. If you make the eyelid bigger than 3/4, it will look unnatural. So try to make your eyelid 2/4 or 3/4, more, not more than that. Always plan ahead where you want the shading while drawing with pen. It's important. If you don't plan before and if you sketch everything, then it won't look good. With pen, only sketch those parts which are important. Once this basic structure, basic eye has been created, I will draw the marking for the hair from where it will fall. In this way I will get half of the face also, this side of the face also. So my hair will fall from here and it will go down till half of the cheek, and from there it will turn. So we will leave this for time being till we draw other facial parts, and this way this hair stand will go, and you can simply ask another hair to fall on the eyes. Once you have done the marking for hair, you can shade further part which you need to be dark or which you need to highlight. Like the if hair is falling from this angle, this particular area will be darker. When we do detailing in eyes, you have to see small areas where the light is falling, where the shadow is there. In this way, you can correct with expressions. You can draw the expressions also with this small details. So always try to look for those details. With the first eyebrow, we'll draw this nose bridge so that we can shade further. This eye is coming here, so it will have little shading down here also. Always go light and slow in beginning. So that if we want to change something, we can do it later. So this nose bridge part will be more darker than the main eye part, because the nose is standing from here, so it will have more darker edges. When we'll complete the nose, you will see the difference of highlighting this area. And while making this eyelid, to pop this out, to make it more like 3D, you have to shade the edges itself, so that it will have a darker region from the rest of the eye. Same thing goes for inner eye also. If you want it to look nice, you just have to shade it only at the edges, and let the edges follow the eye, follow the rest part. So far it's, we'll do this much only for this, and along the drawing we'll see if we want to make some changes or not. So I'll separate the eyebrow area also. So now we'll go for another eye. For this you have to be very careful as to take the distance between them. We are doing it without any measurement or anything. So we will firstly mark straight line, because both the eyes should look together. Not if the distance between them will be higher, then it won't look good. The whole portrait will fall. So you should take markings. It's better to take markings. But I do it normally freehand. I prefer this way. So choose accordingly. Choose according to you, your preference. The other eye should come with this reference only. So to get that area, I'll simply shade this part to know how much distance I need to take. So this is mono eyelid, so it will start from here. I will start it from here and I'll simply stretch it out. This oval curve. Yes. So it will go like here and it will turn, and the edges will have simply will gonna draw like this. Yes. So our eye is looking in opposite direction, so we'll drawing this eyelid right here at the corner. If the eye, one eye is in corner, the other eye will be in another corner. And we'll simply darker it. Now the eyelid will fall. While drawing, always step back and look how it's looking from a distance. In this way you will know if the eyelid is straight or not, if the proportion is right or not. So here I think it's right from my perspective. Hopefully it's right from your perspective too. We'll simply darken this area. Darkening this area will give it a look. Hello Amelia, thanks for coming, thanks for commenting. I hope I took your name right. It's Nami Amrali. Sorry. But thanks for coming to this live video. So once eye is done from this part, we'll do the marking for the face, the edges of the face. So our eyebrow ends here and eye ends here, so we'll simply make a small curve. One side of the curve extends for the cheeks and other for forehead. Always go for forehead first. In this way you will know how far you have to stretch your other lines or other markings. So this will be the forehead so far. Hello Steve, thank you for commenting. So you don't have to worry about if you have extended this line, later it will be turned into hairline, so you can simply work it out. In beginning only focus on giving right place to right body part, like eyes, nose, mouth, chin. These are the basic. If they all placed at right angle, right position, then simply you are at one step. So always go with basics. And the hairline will go from here and it will go till here. The falling hair will be like this. So the inner part, you can always darken the inner part. Thanks Steve, thank you so much. Always darken the inner part, and the upper part will be a little lighter because the light will fall on upper hair more. So the upper part you can make a little lighter. And for with hair, I always say you can play with it. It doesn't need it to be very perfect or aligned. It's not important. Important thing is that the whole shape of the hair, the way it's looking, it should be more appropriate. Rest, if you have placed your hair properly, then you can play with the hair and make the falling hair from all direction. See, here, when my eyes have been done, I will simply put an hair strand here falling on the eyes, and you can put multiple hair here. So we can say that the hair is coming all the way from here, and it's little messy here. So this will be the top hair for our portrait, and it will simply extend later, but still I'll give it a hairline, not so that I don't get nervous later. Okay, so this is our upper face. Now we'll go for the nose. The nose will fall between both the eyes. So if you're doing it freehand, simply give a single line between the nose, make the line straight so that your nose doesn't look crooked. Otherwise, if you're drawing with pencil, draw beforehand. Place your chin, your parts beforehand. I will gently put the nose curves, inner nose, nostril, and it will work accordingly. Nose is more about shading at right corners than with perfect shape. What This is what I think, because in nose you have more space for shading at small edges, small corners, which give it a better look than shading all. Here will shade its edges, and this shading will go up till the eyes. This will be the nose line. This will be the nose line. And while working with the nose line, you should be careful, not overdo it. Doing it will simply make it lose its contrast. The best thing about drawing with pen is you get natural contrast from the paper, as you are using heavy ink, so the light paper will give it a better contrast. And with pencil you don't get this contrast. You have to work for it. That's why drawing with pen, I prefer, it's easy for me. Just it requires much more patience than pencil work. This edges also will create a illusion of this nose bridge getting thinning in here, so that from here we can extend it downwards and we can shade this extra area of this eyebrow. We have to darker all the area in which we have done we are doing shading again and again. In this way it will have its freshness. So if I am shading here, I will darken the eyebrow too, so that it matches with the shading. Here our nose will extend further around the edges. In any picture or any photograph, if you'll notice, the light will fall on lower lips and the nose, bridge top of the nose. So you can simply use that in sketching too and leave this part as it is, because light will eventually fall and it will make it look nicer and lighter. When connecting the eyebrows or the nose, be careful, because it can get easily messed up. So always do it with light hands. Always do it with light hands. So if later you want to change it, you can change it. You can make the area darker, or you can hide it with any shadow or something. So basically our nose is been done. I will simply make this area smaller by doing more shading down at the top part of the nose, and I will, so that I'll make this circle here and I will sketch around it. In this way I can show that the light is getting on this circle like this. And we'll extend this part further. We'll extend it in 3 parts, one at nose, one at side of the nose, and other at the cheeks. The cheeks will be very light because this shading will be connected with the eyes, so you can make it as light as possible. Just you have to blend it further. Blending is not doing over sketching. When you are blending, just blend the required area. Once it's done, leave it as it is. So once the nose is done, we'll go for the lips. Same way, uh, draw a line. Draw a line, and the contrast will tell you if it's looking nice or not. For lips, always go with straight line. In this way you can see the whole structure of the face. So here I got this line, which I think it's right at the corner. So I will simply work with inner inner line of the lips, and I will extend it. Once this is done, I will darken it, and you will get the basic image of the lips, how it will look good, how it will look. Once you darken this area, go for upper lips. Try to be try to keep your drawing as straight as your nose and middle part of the eyes. Follow this line throughout your process, throughout your portrait. So here we have made shadow fall on nose, so we can simply darken this area one side. We can simply darken this area. If I feel that something is missing, then I start doing that part first. So I like this here. Detailing is like when you see you can extend this area, or let's try doing something more, then that is called detailing. Because detailing is not about the reference, it's about how you are looking at it, what else you can do. So now I feel nose looks much better than before. We'll extend this shading further, and we'll connect it with the eyes. Again, I am shading below the eyes, so I will reshade the inner edges, because it will lose its darker region because of the extra shade. So when you are shading again, you should you reshade again those eyes part. Wherever you wherever you shade again and again, you should always do little touch up with other parts too, to make it pop up. The hair here, like here we are doing. So back to the lips. The shadow will fall on lower lips, so you can always shade freehand the upper lips. You can shade it as you want it to be, as darker as you want it to be. It will give you a nice look. The more darker your upper lip will be, the better it will look. With pen, I'm suggesting these things for pen drawing only. And the lower lip, now if you will gently simply put a simple line also, it will look good, because it will create a illusion of lower lips on itself. That's why you can simply darken the upper lips, and if you will leave this lips as it is, it will still look good, but still will do little shading so that it can pop out more. And in this way, once your shading is done, always Always retouch the edges. The corner of the mouth, the corner of the lips, you can always roll it out. Always make a small circle and extend those circle. You can make a smudge shape or smudge face in the direction you want it to look. If you make a simple curve downwards, it will look sad. If you make a simple curve upwards, it will look smiley. So depending on the mood of the portrait, always play with the edges of the lips. So I just want it to be bland, so I just leave it as it is. So here our basic feature of the mouth is done. I will make this shading small and I will align it with the nose. So we left a small white circle on nose and a small white circle on lips to show that light is falling here. It's the way to guide the viewer where the highlights will be. Once the lips is done, we'll connect it with the nose. We'll just extend this shading further. Shade with light hands. Always shade with light hands so that if you don't like it, you can change it later. Now we'll again retouch this area. Once our lip is done, we'll simply go with the chin, because that's where we will draw the edges of our face. So it's very important to place your chin in a direction you want to end the face with. So here is my basic chin line, and I'll extend this jawline here. For left side, if your face is portrait is looking at in other direction, so your jawline you can simply extend it with the line, this line of the lips, side lips, and you can extend this jawline here and it won't go wrong. You can make it parallel with the side lips. So the hair strand we drawn earlier will make it draw further, and we'll draw it with a twist, and we'll simply give it a roll, or you say curve, and we'll let it fall on the neck. So the hair line will go like this. That's why we always draw hair with the drawing, so that it can act as a guided line for the whole drawing. Like here we have already know where to end our jawline. We'll simply stretch jawline from here and we'll connect. Hi Gaurav, thanks for commenting. we can shade this hair right now so that it will pop out. It will give a nice contrast to the face, and we'll know which are the darker region and which are the non-darker region. So the edges of the eye were this here, so I can make it more darker than usual, and we can reduce it going outside. So inner hair will be more darker, and we can reduce its intensity going outside like this. So we'll now go with other line, other hair cheek of other side. For here, simply give a line, gentle line parallel to the side lips. It will act as a guided line for your other cheek. This line should be parallel with this lip side. And now gently connect this line with your chin. If it's not perfect also, you don't need to worry. You don't need to think much, because we will eventually learn from it. And this side will extend from here, and it will simply go down and down and down, and it will meet it here. Even though if it doesn't came out perfectly, you can simply make it look as a hair falling, so you don't need to worry about. You should just focus on aligning your face. Like here we did. So we'll again make this hair extension further. It will stand from here, and it will fall on the cheeks, fall on the chin. And you can leave it like as it is. When drawing hair or hair strands falling on the face, just go with how it should look freely. It doesn't need to follow any particular direction, or it doesn't need to be perfect every time. Perfection should be there in eyes, because the eyes of any portrait guide us through the portrait. So the eyes should be perfect. Rest part you can play along. So here we'll be doing little shading experiment. I hope it work out. We'll simply shade this line further. when you have finished your portrait halfway, you need to be very careful because a simple wrong decision can spoil your whole work. So you need to act more cautiously. Here I'm not putting any effort on the pen, I'm just simply letting it flow in all direction. So our shadow will fall on face as a center, so we can darker this area as much as you want, because it will highlight the shadow part also. It will highlight it as a whole. So far it's looking okay. So here we'll draw the shadow also, because the hair has fall from here. So we can simply put the shadow in this direction, like this direction. The shadow of the hair will come from eye to cheek. So to draw the shadow, you can simply shade this area. Always do the shading with light hand, shade this area. And then you can draw another hair downwards to show that it's a shadow of it. Shadow of hair falling on cheeks or chin, it looks nice. So try doing it. Okay, now we have to go with head and neck part. We can simply connect this area for shading with this part. You don't need to shade whole face to look nice. You can simply shade those areas which need require. Always follow your reference and always see where is the light part or darker region inside your reference. In this way you can plan before which part I need to shade and which part I need to leave as it is. If your face is looking nice without any shading, don't do it. If you are into hyperrealistic artwork or hyperrealism, then it's a different story. Then you have to treat each part as the main portrait part. But before going for hyperrealism or hyperrealistic drawing, always play with art as much as you can, because once you will go for hyperrealism or hyperrealistic drawing, everything is pre-guided or preset, so you can't do any kind of experiments at those level. You have to follow each step, so you can't enjoy doing anything in art. So before going for those high form of artworks, always try to learn and have fun with what you are doing right now. So I'm planning to leave this part as it is for now. And here, so now we'll connect this to our hair strand which we have drawn earlier, and it will simply go like this. It will be it's a simple face structure, but it will come out nicely. And we can draw little baby hair here. While drawing baby hair, always do it with very light hands, and in places where it just required a little more, where you don't want your portrait to look empty, only in those cases just draw a little baby hairs like here we are doing. And now we'll extend this jawline, and we can make it look more sharper. We'll extend it for our ears, not our portrait ears. And I will extend this here and I'll connect it here. This will be the overall face. And the ear will fall and the hair will go from here. Yes. We can drop a simple earring here for the ear to look, and we'll extend the neckline from behind the ears. It will come from here and it will go straight down. You can always make neckline from behind the ear for one side, and another will be from here. Once the neckline is been stressed, you can see the darker region darker areas inside the neck, and you can simply give it a rough sketch. We can later highlight it more, but for now we can simply darken this area to see how it will come out. So the face is looking in this direction, so the shadow will fall behind, and this will be the our darker region which we can shade easily, and we can increase the intensity of the darkness here more, and this will follow the jawline. So we'll shade more at the edges. The same will go with this line, this neckline. So it will have lighter shade from here, this side, and it will be long because it will go till your collarbone. So you can simply extend your shading downwards. Along one side it will be darker, it will be lighter, sorry. So this side will be the lighter region, and if you can blend this line, no, then it will look nice. So blending the line with the shading part, you just need to follow the pen and do it again and again, and it will simply blend with the correct consistency. So if you go lighter earlier, it will be really helpful. If we make this line very thick, then it will be very hard to blend. So simply go lighter, and the other side of this line will be darker. It will extend as the collarbone also, so you can simply stretch it out and shade it. So our neck is almost done, and it's looking okay so far. Therefore, we'll now be drawing the hair, which will be narrow here, because we will be giving it a shape of a bun. The bun will go out in back of the head behind this hair strand. So not, you don't need to make the bun very perfect. You just need to have the basic shape at first, and later we can add details. Here I'll just extend this line. This line will go diagonally, so go with light hand, go diagonally, and it will be later curve. This hairline will, this line which we have drawn earlier will connect it here midway, and this way you can give it a simple hair falling in that direction for that part. See, it's quite easy if you follow the process step by step, and it will eventually look like a portrait. So always remember, the inner side will be always darker and the outer edges will be, edges you can dark, but no need to do the whole shading. So half of the hair is done. Thanks, Mr. Hamar. Thanks for commenting also. This part, this hairline will go from here. We'll make it little bit, have to be careful regarding the face, that the head should be proportional to the face. If the head looks bigger than the face, then the whole drawing will fall apart. It won't look good, it won't look presentable. So always measure these lines. You can later add details. In beginning, just try to put lines, appropriate lines. Yes, I am doing tutorial. Thanks for asking. I don't know if it's good or not, if you find it as good or not, but I'm trying to draw. And teach together. Hopefully, Mr. Ambert, you like this. So we'll shade the lower bun first, and simply it will fall behind the forehead, so no shadow will fall on it. So you can simply shade it as dark as you want. After giving it a rough shape, rough shading, we'll move forward and we'll follow the same principle, that this side here will fall here on opposite direction. So starting from the edges partition of the hair, you can simply make your hair strand fall on the other side. Fall on the other side and just follow the whole process. The edges will be darker, and as it move forward, you can make it lighter and lighter. Always make the edges darker, as it will later give a good contrast to whole portrait, to show where the light is been falling and where the whole portrait stands. So here we'll simply shade this area. You don't need to worry about where how the hair strand will go, where the hairline will go. See hair as a complete shape, not as single hair. Once drawing hair is very hectic with pen, because you have to shade, or say like, uh, because of fine lines it's very hard to draw hair with pen. It's not hard, just it is time taking, and when you are uh, drawing while recording or being online, then you can't draw for hours. It won't look good, it won't be good. So I will find something to draw here smoothly with pen, but till now I haven't find any tool regarding that. I'm looking for it. So our hair stand fall from here, so we'll simply roll out the hair in this direction. You don't have to be very perfect about this, you just simply roll your hair here, and the edges will be thicker to show the defining line of the hair from it starts and the hair falling, so the edges will be darker. And you can simply connect, you can simply connect, you can extend these lines. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just need to connect. You can later reach, later change the angle, because with pen you eventually have to do it multiple times. So simply try to fill the area first with light hands, then later you can shade it, reshade it again. So if we leave this leave this portrait as it is, it will look good, as it will look like the light is falling on this side of the hair. So we'll simply do the touch up only now, make the partition part partition of the hair look more darker, and we'll simply play with. Now here we can extend it in every direction. We'll darken this inner bun, as no shadow fall on this, so simply darken this part. Once your basic portrait is done, you can go in every direction. You can add few things on your own, and it will give it your touch. So here my basic hairline is done, so I will add more hair strands like coming out from all direction. In this way you can simply give your touch. Now you don't need to follow the reference, you simply put how you want it to be. Now I will doing only the touch up part only. We'll extend this neckline. If you feel the foreshadow, like the forehead is looking empty, you can extend your shading little higher around the edges of the hairline. In this way your forehead will look small also. So if it's required, then only do it, otherwise you can leave it as it is. I will create a small look here dot. When you create a small dot on a piece of paper, the whole attention will go to that point. So that's how you can play with jewelries. If you want to add jewelry or some flower in your portrait, you can simply add it. It will give it a nicer look. So now if we have time, we can simply darker the hair region to give it a defined look. You can always darker the edges of your portrait more than the other part. So I'm simply doing the shading of hair again. I'm making it darker in the area which we have already shaded before, and I will keep other areas little lighter in compared to this, to show that the hair is been highlighted here. It's almost done now, so I'll finish this off with little shading around the corner of the jawline, because the jawline will receive less light, so you can make it darker as you like. And here the neckline, you can make one side of the neckline lighter and other side darker according to your portrait reference, like here I did. The shadow will fall in front, so the other side will remain light as it is. So a simple shading will do for this part. We'll just highlight the areas now which we think should be more darker according to the whole portrait, like the eyes, eyelid, because when you start drawing, you don't have the idea how the portrait will look, so you darken the area according to that time. But when the whole portrait is been done, you know how it's looking, how the contrast will look, so you can again look for areas you need to dark more or you want to highlight more. Like here I want to highlight this area, the edges of the nose, so that it can pop out more in whole drawing. So I can simply darker this edge of the nose. It will look more defined. That's why touch up is important at the end of the drawing. We'll do it as much as we can, but don't overdo it. Do it in areas where it genuinely requires, like edges of the mouth, lips, chin. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Kaisar. Good morning. Thanks for dropping a comment. So now we are almost done. I'll just do my signature here, and I will let my learning go for next artwork till next artwork. So this video will be this video is live, and it will be online for viewers after 8 to 9 hours. That's how much time it takes YouTube to re re-upload it. So thanks for coming, thanks for visiting, and thanks for being patient. I'll try to do more. Thank you, thank you, thank you.